loops?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm an agent of chaos, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure my title is
You
correct.
can go either way. Yours is relative to whoever else is on. Like the other day, believe it or not, Rant was so far out that Tommy
I got
was
inspired by it from my last spiritual conversation because it seems like the bad guys are the agents of chaos and the good guys are the spiritual but not religious
That's so
people.
simplistic and cartoony and like Manichaean. That's Rant said that in one of his things about how there's two races. There's the seed of God and the seed of Satan.
Which one am I? Do y'all know? I'm not sure.
Oh, well, if you don't agree with everything,
I don't know.
Body Christ says, then you're Satanist.
I hesitate to identify you as a
bummer.
Satanist fully.
I can smell
think
the
you are
agent.
sincere about being on the side of God.
Well, I'll bring that up in future debates and stuff.
Do
but,
you and Tim have unfinished business?
I'm done with Tim.
Oh, were you involved in whatever happened? He and Lib were going to fight yesterday.
I think Tim and I established that he is unable to parse the difference between economics and size and power of government, and so.
I remember that.
I will continue with Joe Cool if he's in the audience. I'll finish with Joe Cool because
Tim is still welcome up to argue.
It takes like 3 seconds for me and Joe Cool to square away.
Is that what you're looking for?
No. I'm just here for tea with Jeff. But if he wants to jump on and finish the last 3 seconds of that conversation, we can. It's not hard. Hank, so I-Fi is too simplistic, and this is not the takeaway. I try to simplify things and then make them complicated. You have to be aware of your audience, Tim. So some people cannot handle complicated conversations from the start, and so you may have to back up a few steps before you make progress. Would be my advice. But I think we already established certain people are unable to have simple conversations, and that may be part of the problem. So we'll move on. So Hank, I look forward to our next political discussion because I think we already covered religion pretty well. In our introduction, I think we spent too much time on religion and not enough time on like the other stuff. So remind me to elaborate more on those things.
I copy you.
Cool.
Probably won't be today. I'm writing the email right now to rent the panel verse from burning down. So
okay.
What do you think you're getting too wrapped up in Panelverse?
I'm already getting kind of burned out on it.
You and me. I guess I fight first. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Flank. I just 2 cents. I said I'm kind of burned out.
I'm not. I just need to put something to bed. I'm sorry. I get when someone throws a death threat in my way, in my general direction, I get kind of sadistic. So
yeah, that's a end of discussion right there. So
yeah.
No more needs to be said.
I don't necessarily end the discussion, but just once someone throws a death threat in my general direction, it just gets sadistic. And I know that's bad, but I just can't.
So it's bringing it's bringing your demon out. I can tell.
Oh, absolutely.
Demons be gone.
I'm trying to evaluate how constructive that is.
So, anyways, I like Agent of Chaos.
Right.
Well, I don't. Yeah, you don't get too destructive because we're trying to build here.
So I know, but once you see like, I don't even want to use the metaphor.
Blow it up, Hank.
Just to go ahead
from
and
orbit.
do the thing, and just be done with it. If I can calm down and focus on something else.
We can build, but I don't see a lot of construction going on around here. That's the main problem.
You have been around since the beginning, but there's been an impressive amount compared to when we started.
I'm talking about the greater Panelverse, not just. Outliers.
Chris was talking the other day about something about people. A lot of people find it unapproachable and how to make it more approachable. But then when you start having to change things to make it approachable, that's a different audience.
Yeah.
That you're letting in, that you're trying to make it approachable to. So maybe it's serving as a filter like it is now and just letting in the right people.
I agree. And a lot of the fighting's kind of stopped. So at least it moved. So I kind of think we progressed.
Well, it moves all over. It moves wherever you are because you're the one keeping it going lately. Like you seem to be moving it.
Are you an agent of chaos, Hank? Is there something you want to tell us?
I've been accused of that. Well,
You're a self-identified
where I
disorder.
go. I mean, there's some pre-existing stuff that's ended up resolved because of me too.
I like to also build, but you have to have a community to do that with. And so if you're arguing with people the whole time, you're not building anything.
And I hosted
that
the breakout panel, and we actually solved a couple bums doing that.
Although argumentation can be useful in building that community, it's not either or.
So, like theoretically, I thought neurotic Jack would be a good lead for me to start building.
No, now talking of Agent of Chaos, if you want your Agent of Chaos, there he is. Go find him.
He's better than me at it.
And he pretends to like want to order and organize everything, but
that's the problem. He won't sit still long enough to do anything. He just says my work is done.
We have so much neurodivergent and ADHD people on these panels that
I know, man.
There's natural chaos to it anyway.
That's why I have to cure all of human mental illness, and then we can have a conversation.
You don't have to cure anything. You can't finish on your little trailer shares you have out in the woods.
Well, Jeff, some people are able to have coherent conversations, and other people's
Canadian Sasquatch looked like he was ready to move out there with you.
No, there's another one that didn't jibe too well. Sasquatch, I don't know if he just gets ornery when he's drunk or something, but he doesn't really have much.
I don't know him that well. He seems like a cool guy to me.
He's a cool guy, but he's like got shit arguments and like the worst way to present them. So maybe he was just drunk that night. I don't know. That was my only introduction to him, so I'll give him another round. Anywho, for some reason, yesterday, TML's panties were in a bunch, and so he ended up just defending Lib, which derailed the whole conversation. So I'm just calling that a big L on that one. So.
You about over here?
Yeah. Yesterday's shitcast was pretty.
Well, we have different opinions on your take.
That's true. So. Does Tim want to talk or something? Because I don't want to keep reading comments all day. What is he saying?
You said you'd talk in the comments.
Not iFi though. Homeboy just wants the peeps to agree with him, not listen or be right. Sure, Tim. You nailed it, bro.
Well, at least iFi won't ban me for disagreeing with him. I'll give him that.
No. I'll just ban you for communism or something like that, you know.
But some people might say disagreeing with you is communism.
If you disagree with me about communism, yeah, I'll ban you.
Well, Frank, I'm doing
auto
my.
ban.
Chris he doesn't have the chesty today.
I really want to meet Ant on panel. Are you sure she doesn't have a microphone or anything?
Who? Ant?
Auntie.
Auntie
dearest.
Not everybody panels. Some people just like to hang out in the comments.
In fact, most people don't.
It's all part of the community.
Well, I forgot to stream. Hold on, I'm restreaming.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well, I'll be right back.
Tea with Jeff. I keep forgetting I'm actually gonna take YouTube serious at some point, so we'll see. Hank and iFi don't count. About what? I don't know.
Yeah, tell us. We don't know. We're too stupid to understand.
Auntie, come on panel.
Yeah, tell Chris. He's smart enough to understand.
Yeah, see if Jeff and Chris can elaborate for you.
Yeah.
Or just Frank. I don't think I've ever met Just Frank. Is he on panel ever?
No.
I've never seen him panel.
Okay. Well, good luck in the comments, buddy. iFi, if you read this, you're gay. Oh no, Frank got me. I'm gay.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I saw something like that. Like Tommy went and showed some website and the stream got shut down. And so Rant started a new one to keep it going. His SNL way he was his church lady impersonation. I'm like, oh man, just not that I thought the streaming drama had died down or was going to die down, but there was
So there's the catch
a whole
22
new layer of it.
You want the drama, but you don't want the drama. So
Look, I am so immune to drama. I have been immersed in drama my whole life. It does not bother me. I'm like the calm little core at the center that it can all swirl around.
Yeah,
I'm not scared of drama.
Too.
Plus, I can control the drama somewhat on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has control over it, and apparently,
Rand thinks everything's satanic. He's obsessed.
That's fine.
Maybe he's a secret Satanist because that would make sense. If you look at Satanist eyes, of course everything looks satanic, right?
I don't think he's a Satanist.
Maybe he's a Manchurian Satanist.
He could be a crypto Satanist.
Yeah, crypto Satanist or Manchurian Satanist. Maybe they got him and he didn't figure it out.
So on the Agent of Chaos topic, do you guys have any strong feelings about religion versus spiritual but not religious, or is that not any interest of any three of you?
What's the difference? I'm kind of spiritual but not religious.
Right.
I can't tell the difference between spiritual and religious. I just say it's the same thing.
So do you feel like religion's the problem? Like when people get organized and have
I think religion
of their thoughts?
Religion, like anything else, is a tool. It can be used many kind of ways, but I think it can be a very positive, stabilizing force for society.
I'm so glad you used the word tool because you're like one of the first humans that's recognized that that's what it is. It's just a tool. Because like most humans you talk to, they envision religion as this big scary boogeyman that like controls governments and is like the cause of all wars and stuff like that.
Some people, yes, religion. Some people it's Israel. Some people it's the patriarchy. Some people it's the Illuminati. Some people it's the bankers, the Fed. Some people it's the snake people. Like so, yes. For some,
and I
people,
understand
we have oppressor is religion, but I don't think for everyone.
I understand we have a history of like theocracies and stuff like that, and so that's definitely
not in America, not here.
No, I mean like in the world, like human history.
Yeah, in America, our culture like business cults, so they're just corporations. Never got bigger than that.
Yes.
Well,
Frank,
anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We can. We have a lot to watch today. We have True Detective. We have the Dutch Mole. But in between all that or after all that, we can certainly watch, or y'all can. I don't know how much I'll be into it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Commenting.
So I think the main reason why I will always be an agent of chaos is because I lean on the team of religion because I like to have organized thoughts and like
other people's thoughts, you like to organize them to how you want them to be.
Like my words have meaning and they actually have substance to my arguments and a method to my madness.
What tells you that?
Philosophy. What was that?
Okay, so you tell yourself that your own interpretation.
Philosophy is the search for truth, and so one of the tools is science, and the other tool is religion. And so, if you
what is religion? How does my understanding of religious epistemology is the role that revelation plays?
It's part revelation, but it's sort of scientific in the process because if you only see like one miracle, what does that mean? Who caused it and why?
What if you see no miracles? Because that's more likely.
What if you do see a miracle?
Well, what would a miracle? If I saw a miracle, I probably wouldn't even recognize it as a miracle because I bet if explanation.
I bet
if like Jesus on the toast or Mary on the side of a barn.
I bet if I walked on water across a lake and over to your great-grandmother's grave and raised her back to life, you would be pretty convinced that was a miracle.
No.
You wouldn't,
No.
Jeff? You would
No.
think that's perfectly
I'd be
scientifically
even more
explainable?
skeptical.
You think that's a science phenomenon because of like gravity and shit caused that?
Oh, right. I forgot it's Super Bowl today. Happy Super Bowl, people. We were trying to think of something sports to do, but we didn't come up with anything. So if y'all want to come on and
No, Frank,
talk
I don't
sports.
care about football. Sorry.
Sports ball, hand egg.
I don't even know who's playing. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Is that a football?
Nah,
And
that's
is
too
it,
cultural appropriating.
is it Green Bay? Who's the other team? The Viking? Is it Green Bay Vikings?
I don't care.
But apparently the panel was
Chris.
I'll talk about football, Frank. So your wish
But
is
what
granted.
were you? Okay, Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers. I would have never gotten that.
Go home team.
49ers and Chiefs, right? So go whatever team.
I'm rooting for the home
I'm not
team.
attached to either one of them. So, but probably Kansas City because San Francisco. I can't see myself rooting for. And doesn't Flo live in Kansas or Kansas City? So
Yes.
that's close enough for me to root.
He lives in
Root
Kansas.
for them. So go Chiefs. Hoorah. Isn't that racist? Didn't they make them change the Chiefs?
You mean the
Yeah,
Redskins?
but that's racism's good now, so it's fine.
Why? Well, no, they did. They made the Washington Redskins change, but why do they get to keep the Chiefs?
Well, the police have chiefs.
I don't
That's-
understand what
That's
logic, 'cause
cultural
that's not logic.
appropriation.
So I want to address what you were saying.
No, let's talk about football. That's way more fascinating.
It's really not. But what?
So the danger of rooting for the home team, Jeff, is if you ever move.
If you want a serious
dilemma.
answer to your last, you don't take me down some other path because I'm not going to come back.
I was just talking about the methodology of religion, but if you
And you
want,
said Revelation was part of it,
that's part of it.
but what's the rest of it?
The methodology into answering the question who caused it and why.
Which is that's all logic and philosophy, and that all came from the Greeks.
Because if I walked across the lake and rose your grandmother back from the dead, and then I told you I am a servant.
Oh, right, that example. I'd have to see it to tell you how I'd react, but it's so ludicrous, it's hard for me to take seriously. So I'm wondering what you're hoping to achieve with that example, and if there's not a better example. You were using it as an example of a miracle. And I'm going to see you walk across water and be awed and amazed, and you're going to find my great grandma's grave. You're going to bring her back to life, and I'm going to be like, "Oh my God, I just did a miracle." That's what you're predicting my reaction is going to be. But I don't know if that's what it's actually going to be, because I'm going to be skeptical the whole way.
Right.
Yeah, I-5's on water. What's underneath?
Yeah.
What's little like plastic glass platform is he rolling on?
Right. Chris Angel tricks. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be skeptical, but I'll be trying to reverse engineer it. So
the purpose of it would be to end the debate on science explaining everything and whether or not natural law can
I
be
don't think
overridden.
science explains everything, and I've said that before. Like I don't think it has any business poking its nose into ethics. And
for example, if
yeah, I agree.
So, for example, if Jesus was teaching a group of people about the gospel, and then they said, "Show us a sign," and then Jesus like kneeled down and rubbed two sticks together, and then after about an hour, a little smoke forms, and then he starts a little fire. I don't think anyone in that audience would be very impressed because they'd be like, "Jesus, we can already do that. So, what are you showing us?"
What is that? What are you trying to say with that point?
I'm saying that
they're not history or science.
I'm saying that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and so
I agree.
That's why
we agree.
That's why miracles happen.
I don't agree on that part, but I definitely agree that things like rising from the dead requires extraordinary evidence.
I think you do agree with me, Jeff.
You just don't think what you want. I know what I agree and don't agree with.
So, for example, today, Jeff, if I wanted to convince you that I can do miracles, what should I do?
You're not going to convince. You just do a miracle, whatever miracle you think is going to convince me. But
Should
it's
I rub
not going
two
to
sticks
happen
together?
because you're not going to do a
Make a fire?
miracle because there's no miracles.
Should I rub?
Oh, I know what to do.
Okay,
You
what,
can
Hank?
you can grow Rand's skin back so it's not in pain all the time. That'd be miraculous.
What? Grow what?
His
I-
skin's too thin.
Oh
You
yeah,
can't
yeah.
take a disagreement. So if he grow his skin back so he's doesn't feel so
Ooh,
butthurt.
I5 skin.
No, if I was Rand's skin. If we
Oh,
grow
you
his
don't.
skin back so it's not triggered all the time and not seeing agents everywhere, that would be a miracle.
Yes, a tribute to Rome. That makes it sound even more fun now. I wish I had a Super Bowl party.
Now we just need some bread for our circus. Anyone got some bread?
I probably could figure out how to bake some. I have yeast and flour.
So that was my answer to your raise the dead grandma example. I'd be skeptical. I don't think it's going to be possible. So that's why I'm not sure what you're hoping to illustrate with that example.
I was just saying
That miracles can exist. I don't believe they do.
So then what would prove that they do exist?
Show me one. Do one. Show me one.
I gave you an example. Would you like a
can't.
better
Okay,
example?
well, the conversation's over. What's the next topic?
Would you like me to like blow up Jupiter and then reform it into a fig Newton? Would that impress you?
Yeah,
Like what?
if that's the miracle, that if you're capable of that, and that's the miracle you want to perform to demonstrate a miracle, then go do that.
Okay.
And even that probably is a naturalistic explanation, but at least start there. Go do something with Jupiter.
Okay. So I think you kind of see the point of miracles then. So like
I don't acknowledge them. I don't acknowledge, and you can't show me one.
I know that you don't. I'm just.
So I think we're at a dead end.
Yeah, oh, definitely. That's the point of the conversation. Is like some people are convinced, other people not so much, and that's life. That's
right. So like, what the epistemology behind that, whether it's revelation or are you considering miracles their own form of?
Likewise, Jeff.
Like
there are some humans that believe the Earth is flat, and there are some that believe that it's round.
Right, I know. I did a whole stream the other day on belief and dogma.
And so that's free will. You can't like convince people with logic and reason and evidence.
Yeah,
some people just choose.
I know that.
I don't believe it. So that's where I will always be the agent of chaos, because the difference between spiritual but not religious people is it's much more focused on feelings and like interpretations and tolerance, and
I believe it's
like
all
that.
the body anyway. So whatever spiritual is ultimately physiological. It's coming from the body.
As opposed to those dogmatic religious people who insist on like facts and logic and reason and evidence and all that nonsense.
Here we have a request from a viewer.
Okay, ask iFi to pick 2 favorite topics and let him babble on for a few while I rummage through the fridge for leftovers. Okay. We already covered politics and religion, so
and miracles.
I was gonna talk about the topic of the panel sphere and the agent.
Oh yeah, no, that's that's what I'm interested in. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so the reason why I'm the agent of chaos on the certain panels is
you
because
have a lot of competition.
Yeah.
You're gonna really have to up your game.
Well, I think I'm already off to a good start since I'm already a bit of a chaos agent in this room. So, so certain panels are very focused on the spiritual but not religious view of life. So, like for example, Jack Talcott. Yeah. So, the reason why I don't think I'm ever going to make any progress talking to him about religion is because I couldn't even get a straight answer out of him about his politics, like what his political views are.
He's an old hippie. He like a left wing.
Yeah. He's kind of the dude. He's like
communist.
His bit is he's the dude.
John Lennon politics. They just listen to John Lennon albums. That's his politics.
Imagine the world.
Yeah.
All the people. I'm gonna sing with my laryngitis and be just as good as
don't give
movie
me a
stars.
copyright, especially behind John Lennon. So yeah, I agree. There's the Talcott streams that are spiritually oriented, but not necessarily religious.
Yeah. And so they have very interesting conversations with their regulars. And so it's weird that like Rant is a regular there because you would think he would be a little more passionate
Well,
about
Rant
certain
earned his
topics.
place there because they scrapped the first few times, and
Yeah.
Rant had to kind of hold his position to even stick around there.
So then I noticed that other panels also use the phrase agent of chaos, and so that's why it stuck with me. I was like, oh boy, I think I found my new title because I don't think
Well,
anyone gets
I personally like if they had like a top 40 Casey Kasem top 40 agents of chaos of the week. I don't think you're like I said, you have a lot of competition. I don't think you're moving up the charts yet.
Oh, by the way, there's an example in your audience. Mindfucked. Does she want to come on panel?
She's certainly welcome.
Hey, Mindfucked.
The link should be pinned at the top for anybody.
You want to jump on real quick and educate me on my view on stuff while my voice lasts because it's going quick. But
yeah, what you're so self-sacrificing to put yourself through today.
I was just gonna have some tea with you, so that's all I'm doing right now.
Like
Is
the
drinking
hero
tea.
archetype.
I still want to talk to Lindsay Smith about feminism, but she declined.
Well, she had some drama blow up. I saw her machine, and then she ended up on Verbal Combat the other day. So she might be feeling some aggression or whatever.
Yeah.
Feel that they have to get out. What Claw Chaska, I saw you had changed your name. I believe this is Cascadian Anarch. So welcome. Good to see you.
Have you been gargling warm salt water?
I peeked at some of it, but I saw it got shut down, and then Rant had to restart it, and I didn't want to like show up on Rant's panel uninvited.
I'm gargling tea, so if that helps.
What does Klachaska mean? Oh, you used to be a DoorDash driver. I use DoorDash, or I used to. Oh, for your voice. Yeah. My grandma used to give us, it was like a big silver spoon, one of the big spoons. And she'd put honey and she'd crush an aspirin and put it in the honey, and she'd put a little bit of whiskey in with the honey. And then you wouldn't eat it. She would like stick it deep down your throat and like pour the honey down your throat. And that was supposed to cure sore throats, coughs, probably laryngitis.
Yeah, that whiskey cures everything.
It numbed it. That honey was so nasty though. It was that sweetness of the honey it was too much honey in one spoon.
Has Chris gone into a coma?
Hey Bernie, are you with us? That's a good question. Is he frozen? Chris,
are you alive?
Okay, this is concerning. My co-host,
he dead.
I see his mute button keeps moving.
Yeah, I saw his mute
Chris,
button.
You're frozen if you're around.
And if you're trying to talk, no one can hear you.
Leaning the paint off the wall. Here we have Claw. The Claw. No, we can't hear you either.
Yeah.
Hi, Claw.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we lost Chris, but we can hear you.
I just know I was on Machine Lies panel last night. And
yeah, what happened?
How'd that go?
Well, there was a while where they were talking about the K's, where like Rocky was talking about Khazars and weird stuff like that, and all this other conspiratorial stuff. Like I think like the more Christian-minded people kind of took over the panel for a while.
What's your religion?
I don't even know. I mean, I was a Christian, but I'm starting to kind of have a lot more skepticism towards certain aspects of Christianity.
I can fix that on another time.
You walked into the right lair.
Yeah.
What does claw mean? Is it claw?
Like a bird's claw, dude. It's a picture.
A claw, bird's claw.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's a hand, so whatever. It's
What's
I just
Chaska?
thought because it sounded like the word claw. I mean, I'd just show it like a bird's claw.
Hey, there's
Oh,
Sarah.
look at here. We have Miss
Hello.
Sarah.
So,
How's
Sarah,
everyone?
did you have any comments about any of my initial stuff?
Who is speaking right
You was
now?
Hi-Fi,
to talk to you.
Mr.
Okay.
Psychedelic, right here. This dude right here. Look.
You're gonna have to tell me what you're talking about because I really just stepped in, so I don't really know what you were all talking
Oh, I was talking to Jeff about Agents of Chaos, which is currently my title.
about. Okay.
He's peacocking. You
And
feel free to
so
talk about anything you want.
I feel like I think that's an appropriate title for me because I don't fall into the spiritual but not religious category.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
And so I think Jeff actually would be less of an agent of chaos than me in this particular example. So
I'm good. Keep thinking that. Sarah, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Not a whole lot. I'm doing laundry. I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
poking around doing stuff while I was killing time and getting ready to start another yoga video. So.
Oh,
that's good. Exercise is good for you.
Mm-hmm. That it is.
So are you more passionate about religion or politics? Like, is there a topic you want to talk about?
I used to really follow politics there for a while, like a good decade, but
Where did you leave it? What was the last thought you had?
I haven't really focused on politics like politics since about 2019, 2020.
Can I interest you in some conservatarianism?
Okay.
Okay, so it's a morally founded government, Christian morality, basically.
how much do you like militias and trailers out in the world?
Jeff, remember what we talked about your deceitfulness?
But you're not gonna have to pay taxes. Okay,
Stop
you're right.
lying,
I'm gonna
Satan.
go on mute and
Stop
go ahead.
lying, Satan. Okay,
Is this like a libertarian version where it's small government,
yeah, I was
big
getting to that.
military?
No.
No big military. Okay. Is this NAP principle, non-aggressive?
Sure, we can start there. That's fine.
Okay.
So it's a morally founded government built onto a libertarian government that protects capitalism, and those are the three non-negotiable foundational principles.
Okay. And are you going to fix the economic system and actually have true capitalism, or are you going to allow these monopolies to exist?
The only interference into capitalism that I will allow on my watch is no killing, no stealing, and no lying. That's the moral foundations that I spoke of. And then probably some antitrust laws, because there's those assholes that always want to like cheat the system, even though it should take care of itself naturally, but humans can fuck up anything, so even capitalism. And
Well,
so
if you've got the money, you can buy up all of the small guys, undercut the rates, and then once they're all out, you just jack up the prices and fuck everyone over.
that's why we have antitrust laws, so that
Yeah.
It destroys all competition,
If only
Right.
that worked.
and it allows shittier products to exist because of that.
It'll work in conservataria because we don't have a big enough government for them to collude with in the first place, so it's
Yeah, in
irrelevant.
case you didn't catch the first 5 or 6, 8 streams.
Yeah. So that's all you really need. We can fill in the details later, but that's the premise of it.
Theoretically speaking, in a perfect world, I'm on board with your concept.
No. This is the imperfect world we live in. That's why we need
Okay,
this.
well then in the imperfect world, I think you're going to struggle achieving your goal.
Oh, definitely. That's the problem.
Same thing.
That's the problem, Sarah. We don't have anyone that supports.
We tell Talcott the same thing too. We tell Joshua Jones the same thing. Volcanoes not going to work.
So the only little stickler I would add to that, there's always asterisks to every deal. The trick is I'm a meritocrat and I'm not a Democrat, so I don't believe in democracy. So if
Well,
that's
we're
your
not
thing.
a democracy. We're
I
a
know.
democratic republic.
I'm not talking about this government. This government is unsalvageable. We would pretty much have to
This little
restart a
town
new
in
government at
Honduras.
this point.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen this year. So
Unless you have $33 trillion in your laundry basket. I don't. So I don't think we can bail it out at this point.
Nope, it's gonna be like a giant fucking reset.
Yep. So, anyways, if you're near my neighborhood and you run into a guy named Ifi, Conservataria is the new
Your
system
neighborhood
I'm
is a trailer
proposing.
out in the woods. Why would she be near that?
Who said it was a
Ever.
trailer, Jeff? But yeah, let's go
Well,
with Jeff's story. It's
you
a
like to
trailer.
call it a
Wink,
bunker,
wink.
but I know it's a trailer.
I was an engineer before I retired, so we make pretty good
The
income.
geodesic dome.
But I don't live in a trailer, Jeff. You might live in a trailer, and I don't have anything against people that live in trailers. That's your business, not mine. So
No,
I was really looking into those mini homes on wheels.
yeah, those
Those
little
things are pretty sweet.
tiny homes or modular homes. Those are pretty smart. It's good to set up a bunker
we have
in the
a
woods.
question for Sarah from one of the viewers.
So Sarah, I think that you and I can agree with politics, but the religion we might not agree on. So that's why I was warning Jeff.
Well,
that
luckily,
I'm an
I'll
agent of
have
chaos.
to agree.
You'll have to remind me what your beliefs are.
I'm one of those old-fashioned fundamental Christianists that believes in old-fashioned Christianity.
Those old-fashioned agents of chaos.
And which version is the old-fashioned?
The one that Jesus made.
So followers of the way, the Nazarenes.
The one that most Protestants kind of get close to, but not quite on the mark. Definitely not Catholicism or Orthodox.
Okay, so are you more into the
Yeah, but
mysticism?
the thing is,
of
it's like
it all?
fundamentalist Christianity never existed in the early.
It exists in my world and in my history books. So.
Okay.
I
know,
could
but
be
I'm just
wrong.
saying, like in reality, it didn't exist more frequently until modernity.
Yeah, he said reality.
Because
Hey,
for the first several
that means
centuries,
not
the
your
Orthodox
world.
Church and Catholic Church took over Christianity.
I could
kinda
be
had the
wrong,
monopoly
Claude.
on
I'm
what
definitely
Christianity
open.
was supposed to be,
I'm
and anybody else that countered that was deemed a heretic.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the church.
I don't know. I
story.
just find that to be just in a very American worldview when people flock to Christian fundamentalism, because Christian fundamentalism is pretty alien to like a lot of areas where Christianity
I'm glad you brought up
flourished,
that
in the early days.
I'm glad you brought up that example, Claude, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. So, my church would be the guys that were being burned at the stake during the Spanish Inquisition. So, like we were the heretics that were saying that were like, shouldn't we like read the Bible and actually do what Jesus said? And they're like, heretic, and then they'd start stretching you out and cutting you in half and stuff. And so,
so does that mean you're into mysticism?
You'll have to elaborate on what you mean by mysticism.
Well, a lot of the things that
Christian fundamentalists are not into mysticism. If anything, they kind of avoid it.
I'll let
I
her
wasn't sure
say what her version is, and then I'll disagree with it or agree with it. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, because everyone kind of has their own little language. So I'm not sure when you say fundamental, like, are you truly meaning the exoteric or the esoteric fundamentals? Because a lot of the things that are represented in the Bible about Jesus is actually the Eleusinian mysteries, and it's Dionysus, and they have like the communion and the Eucharist is like it's like a magic potion, but it's like a hallucinogenic where they can see God and whatnot.
So when I say fundamental, I mean the Protestant Bibles, where I get my fundamental knowledge of the historic Jesus.
And the Protestant is the one where they believe that Jesus follows the Holy Ghost versus Jesus coming before the Holy Ghost.
We believe that God manifested himself into three persons, including the Son and the Holy Spirit. And so we don't discern
epistemology that makes
we don't discern multiple gods. It's just one God that manifests himself however he pleases.
Okay, so I mean that is something that they determined at the Council of Nicaea under Constantine's rule, where he was three beings. That's where they determined the Trinity. So I have never been able to find the Trinity as the way that they describe it when I'm reading the Bible. Yeah. So where do you actually see
Oh, that's easy. When he commands baptism, he says, "Do it in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost." And he equates them to make sure everyone in the audience understands what he's speaking of.
But why would he call himself the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost?
Because when they said, "Show us the Father," he said, "You already see me. Why are you asking me that?" Because the people that understood it knew what he was talking about. They knew that even though it's hard for humans to understand what a Trinity is, those who were inspired by the Holy Spirit understood it. They had to explain it to the people in the audience that didn't understand it, because it sounds like polytheism. Because some people would say, "Are we worshiping one God or three gods, Jesus? What's the deal here?" And so Jesus is saying, it's not so simple that you humans can only understand things in terms of like human bodies. There's not like three human bodies. It's like one deity, one being known as God, has the ability to manifest himself into a father, a word, a spirit. And we can call these things persons if we want, because that's how our little human brains try to process this conversation. And so it's more like trying to explain like the complexity of a human to begin with. So for example, when I talked to Jeff the other day, I was telling him that humans are complex because we're not just, meat popsicles. We're not just physical beings. And so there's much more to a human than just the mind body duality that some people think they're, really starting to understand how deep it goes. But they always revert back to physical explanations of their minds. So they're not escaping the physicalism of their view. And so if you don't understand that humans are at least 3 levels of experience, they're physical, sentience, and sapience. And so we have spirits and souls. And so we tend to equate those because even most religious people don't understand the difference between a spirit and a soul. They just call them, like a soul, and combine the two.
That's something I actually agree with.
Okay, so just like I-Fi is one being, I am physical, I am spiritual, and I am sapience. I'm a soul, free will, essentially. And so just like that, God can then manifest himself into 3 persons. He can be a Father, a Son, a Holy Spirit, a Word, or whatever he wants to be. And so he chose to be those 3 representations. It's a trinity of one God.
I actually think we're more than 3 parts. But my issue is that by saying that, by looking at me, you can see the Father. I think when you look at someone, you can see who they're working with, who their spirit is, who they're worshiping, simply by interacting with them. If you truly look at them.
Oh yeah, there's definitely.
So to me, that doesn't say, if you look at me and you see the Father, that doesn't mean that I am God. It means I am with God. I am we're in union.
He's co-equal with God in authority, power, knowledge, and I would even say presence. But again, they're able to speak to each other as persons. So that's again something we can't understand.
Yeah, you can. I do it all the time.
I'm in general, humans don't understand this concept. To them, it sounds like maybe like schizophrenia or something like that. They're like, what are you
Sometimes
talking
it feels that way.
So, and again, you can separate, the left brain and the right brain and create essentially 2 people talking to each other that way. And so that's maybe a way to try to better understand it, but that's probably way beyond our understanding of what God actually is. So
when you actually hear God, at least from my experience, everyone's going to be different on how they receive the information. It's not really coming from the brain. It's more like, how do you explain this? It's sometimes I can hear him outside of me, like talking to me. Sometimes it just comes as like a knowing. So it's more of it kind of feels like intuition, but it has more. I don't know how to explain this. I don't have the proper words.
I understand what you're getting at.
Okay.
Move on. I understand what you're saying. So
well, I don't understand the part about not the brain, Because
it's not the logic. It's not a logic that can be like
well, I didn't understand the
mathematically
AI Jesus
described.
either,
It's
so that
more
might
like
be.
a feeling or an emotion or a essence of thought
Isn't that what the trans people say?
or a spirit of thought. It's like the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law, is what she's trying to, elaborate on.
Well, I'll let y'all continue.
Kind of. Did you say trans people, Jeff?
Yeah, the essence or the
I would say that a lot of the people that are transitioning, they're grappling with their anima or their animus, and that's like their soul. So usually if your personality, like your ego, like your outward facing persona is masculine, your anima, the inward facing, is feminine. Whereas if it's feminine on the outside, it's an animus on the inside. And we're trying to blend the two into a perfect balance. But oftentimes, when people start to associate with their anima or their animus, they get kind of like possessed by it and they pull too far in the other direction. So it's kind of like a possession of the anima or a possession of the animus. And they start to identify with that side rather than realizing they are both masculine and feminine. But biologically speaking, they're either XX or XY. Or on the very rare occasions, and their chromosomes are fucked up, they might have XXY.
yeah. I just think it's
but hermaphrodites aren't part of the debate, so that's
Yeah.
the point.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
so
take us back on the debate since you're defining it. If I go ahead.
we're not debating.
we
Sarah
took
and
you-
I
we
are
took you
having
on
a
a track.
conversation.
Oh, okay. Because you just said it. You were just
Everything doesn't have to
what
be
the
a debate,
parameters
Jeff.
of the debate were. So that's where I got thrown off.
Everything doesn't have to be a debate, Jeff.
Okay, because you sounded like you thought this was.
Nope.
Just
I was
now.
simply
Oh,
having a
okay.
conversation with Sarah
All right,
about
keep gaslighting. Continue.
where we
Go on.
diverge. So getting back to my fundamental Protestant Bible, if you have a different source, you're gonna have to indicate what it is and why you believe that is more accurate than that version. Do you have a
Can you
different
say
source?
that again? I kind of zoned out there for a second.
So like if you and I wanted to talk about the man named Yeshua from Nazareth,
Mhm.
would we consort other sources than the Bible, like Josephus or Tacitus? Is that where you get your knowledge of Jesus from?
No, I don't even know either of those two names.
Those are the favorite names.
Oh, look, we got Machine on too.
Those are the favorite names.
Josephus is a Slavoslavian that existed, around the time of Paul the Apostle that wrote about the Jewish histories. And
Okay.
then Tacitus is a Roman, a famous Roman historian who mentions somewhat the Christians, so they both, although he does so in a very negative tone, but and mostly they're mentioned in a very, very negative tone in the Christian time because they're like, compared with the Jews who are basically called atheists because they have no representations of their gods, by the Romans, but yeah.
And sorry that I brought them up, Sarah, but the reason why you'll hear those names on occasion is because people who debate the historicity of Jesus,
Right. That's what I was doing yesterday on my show. That's why I had to bring those guys up. Yeah.
So
yeah, what happened on the show, Machine? It got something about Tommy got it shut down.
Somebody mass reported that shit. Is fucking
mass reported it as what?
Because like 5 seconds after Tommy showed guns on that shit, like the stream got mass reported.
Showing guns is not allowed on YouTube?
Oh hell no, it's not.
What?
Actually, that's one of the things that could get you permabanned.
I watch gun shows on YouTube all the time. Like, where's the rule there?
Yeah, not gun shows. It's illegal sale and wielding of the weaponry and shit, which has happened on my channel many times because people have pointed them right at the fucking camera at me.
What?
So, yeah.
But why is that your fault? Like,
I don't know.
I instantly kick them or something, or
I always get death. I always get death threats. I assume everybody does, but apparently it's just me.
Where you're not allowed to hold a gun on camera on YouTube.
No, it's because I'm a black man speaking the truth.
Oh, okay. Well, you're already guilty of crime, so they've got a point there.
Exactly. What are you talking about? No, like I'm not guilty of any crimes.
You're black. You've obviously committed a crime, so now we're just
Oh,
gonna
you mean
plant the gun on you and say
oh, you
that's
mean
what the crime was.
DWB,
Yeah.
SWB, streaming while black. Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, I wasn't aware of that rule, but I'll be sure not to bring any guns on stream since you can't see my camera
Yeah,
anyway.
no, don't
Ha,
bring.
ha, ha.
Yeah, definitely don't bring any on my stream.
Yeah. No, that was a good stream all the way through.
I appealed. It's back up now, but
Okay.
Oh,
Good
it was
job, lad.
yeah, but yeah, it's like it's obviously coordinated because this is like the 5th time this shit happened to me. So it's just
is it Tommy involved every time? Like he comes on, he shows.
he's been
something.
involved twice. So I like that's too many times. Like, and then
Why-
one
what
time he
is his
went on a
motive?
I don't know, and then he went on another channel and lied about it. I think it's because Denise Matu sent me an email.
Do you think he does it on purpose because of the conversation?
People
And
love
he
their
wants to get
drama.
it pulled down?
I think it's not only the conversation, but who's gravitating towards the chat and who's involving themselves in the conversation. Like if certain people get involved that accuse other of these internet groups, and that's part of Tommy's like whole thing is he'll come on the stream and talk about all these internet groups that are not associated with my stream to associate them with my stream. You know,
Like
so like
he knows what he's doing. It's intentional.
I think
Nope.
every single time he comes on a show, he does the same thing. He starts
Chris,
talking
we
about
cannot
drama
hear
from
you.
some other channel.
I
So
would
just
not
feel
put
like,
it past.
yeah,
From
yeah.
what I've seen of him.
To me, like I told that to Flo said, I was like, look, Tommy just came on your show to talk about Denise and Montegraph when they have nothing to do with today's show.
And people
Yeah.
wonder why I don't let him up here. I'm not taking the risk.
Yeah, and he knows like that Montegraph dude's like creepily watching the show, waiting for who talks about him to like dox him or whatever. So like, what the fuck? Like, so it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's like, all right, like, why are we bringing this up? So I tell him, I'm like, Tommy just came on your show to mention this guy that you might, you might not want to have a problem with.
So,
And then,
how old are these people? This sounds like very juvenile drama.
Okay, so
Mhm.
drama caught up. So Sarah, so I think we will eventually diverge when we get into the nitty gritty of religious dogma and doctrine and stuff like that. I think that's where we're gonna definitely diverge. So
That's
Um,
usually
there's
what
no-
happens.
there's no similarity there at all.
you do agree that Jesus was a real person, right?
Nope.
Oh yeah, he was human.
Okay.
being.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but you think it was a different guy, a Serapis, right?
I think there is an actual Jesus Christ, holy Jesus Christ, the one that people think they're following.
Yeah, not the same person you're talking about, I5.
It was
Oh.
a person, but
So it's not Yeshua of Nazareth. We're not talking about the same person anymore.
it depends on which book of the Bible you're referring to.
The one that says he was born in Bethlehem and he was raised by Mary and Joseph and he was crucified in Jerusalem. That Yeshua.
Well, you see, Yeshua was
Uh-huh.
a Old Testament name, and they use Jesus, I believe, is the Greek version in the New Testament where they actually talk about that. So they never refer to him as Yeshua.
The Greek people referred to him as Jesus, but I'm pretty sure like his friends and family would use his Aramaic tongue or whatever. I'm not an expert. I don't know.
That's probably true, but
So
that's not in the Bible.
I don't care if like his Italian name is Jesus or whatever, as long as we're talking about the same human being, I'm good.
Okay, so to me, the name Jesus is a title. And there are many people who have that title. And the actual man, who most people think they're following when they claim to be Christians, his name was Emmanuel. But
That
his
was one
title
of
is
his names.
Jesus.
Yes, I understand the analogy
Okay.
here. Okay.
So when you say Jesus, I'm going to assume you are speaking about the man, which I
Yes.
refer to as holy Jesus Christ, the true Jesus Christ, that a lot of people think is God. I do not
Was-
believe it's God.
Was the Son of God really a man, a physical man at any point?
Frank, I was wondering the same thing.
I think Son
And I'm
of
not
God
really good
means angel, and I see holy Jesus Christ as an angel incarnate. fully man and fully angelic. Like his soul is angelic. He
Okay.
is part of the 144,000.
Because some people try to say that Jesus wasn't an actual physical being; he was just like a hologram that everyone was talking about or something. And so I just want to make sure.
No, he's definitely a physical being.
Okay. Okay. Hey, was he one person though, or is he like a group of people? I'm kind of losing you here.
Jesus is one person, but he is part of a collective. There's always righteous people in existence, incarnated angels throughout all of humanity. He was one of them during his time period.
So when all the apostles and disciples were running around talking to each other, were they talking to a group of Jesus or one man Jesus?
See, it's so complicated because
Is it? I mean,
it is.
don't you think they would bring
Because
that up in their
Gospel
accounts?
of John, I believe, that's more about Dionysus. The Gospel of Mark, I see as the one talking about Holy Jesus Christ. I mean, it just depends on which Bible book you're talking about.
I can understand your concern when accounts speak about the Christ or something like that, and that's like more of like a title and an idea. But it's also, they knew exactly who they were talking about. They were talking about one man. They weren't talking about like a group of people. They were talking about the Messiah, the Christ. And so I can understand why you feel like there was debate even in those days of who they were talking about, because like some Jews were like, I don't see any Messiah here. And, you know, Jesus was right there in the room. He's like, I am the Messiah. And so, you know, that's why they were like, what? You know, who are you? And stuff like that. So I understand
don't think he is the Messiah. I think he was anointed. He was one of many Christos. I think I am Christos. I'm not Jesus Christ, but I've been anointed by the Holy Spirit.
What does that
I'm
mean?
not the Messiah. I'm not Jesus reincarnated. That's what you become when you are born again and baptized by the Holy Spirit. You become part of the body of Christ. You become Christos.
Body of Christ, definitely. Yeah, that's I agree with that term. I think I come from the old school philosophy of, again, it's a language issue. So the Jews refer to him as Messiah. The Christians refer to him as the Christ because, again, they didn't come from the Judaism background. A lot of these were Gentiles and just pagans.
The Jews referred to Jesus as Messiah? That's news to me.
Yeah. Well, the ones that accepted him did. Not all Jews converted to Christianity, by the way. Machine Lies. I don't know if you read from front to back. I
gave a whole presentation on the Ebionite.
Okay, so then you're aware of the Jews that did become Christians, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm painfully aware of it. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, we're all still on the same page. Okay. So what I was saying, I
personally wouldn't call them Jews, but it is what it is. You know?
Okay. So what I was saying to Sarah was, in the audience, they were not just Jews. There were Gentiles and pagans and other people. So they wouldn't refer to him as the Messiah because they had no knowledge of what a Messiah is or was supposed to be. And so, and it may even be a translation issue where just the Greeks decided to use the word Christ as opposed to the Jewish word for Messiah or whatever. And that's fine. I don't have any problem with translation. The problem is when you portray this as two different people now. It's not like, you know, the Jews didn't see one man named Yeshua and he was really a guy from Syria or something like that, and he was their Messiah. But then another man came from, like, you know, Turkey, and he was the Christ according to the Gentiles, and those were two completely different people. It was the same guy. It was just through the eyes of Jews or Gentiles or both, or, you know, different languages, different cultures, whatever.
But you understand that the story behind Jesus is one that has been used many, many times.
Oh, definitely.
Before Jesus even existed.
There were false messiahs all the way up even till the day that Jesus arrived. Like, Jesus was still walking around with false messiahs that they were claiming they were the Christ, while Jesus was saying, I am the Christ. You know, it didn't stop just because Jesus showed up. And it certainly didn't even stop after that. There were people after Jesus rose back to heaven, and the Christians knew that this was the beginning of the church, that there were people still claiming I'm the Christ, and they were like, "No, dude, we already went through all this. We know who
This
the
is
real
reminding
Christ
me
is."
why I'm not Christian.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know,
so
Jeff.
why do you believe that this version of the same story for this man that you believe is God, why do you believe this one is the true Christ
Because
versus all the others?
that's the most accurate evidence
Wait,
I
what,
have.
Tim?
It's the most accurate what?
Evidence of these claims that I have. It's the
I
most.
think they're flirting personally.
Maybe
Seems like
I'm married, by the way, Sarah. So sorry, not
Well,
hitting on you.
where's
He
wifey?
apologized to you.
Yeah. I'm apologizing to the audience who thinks I'm flirting
He's
with
being
you.
an agent of chaos.
Yeah, I'm an agent of chaos, and I'm married. Anyways, a Christian married, so no dice. Anyways, so
Does she live in the same trailer as you?
that's why I asked if you have better evidence, like more evidence of the true Christ as opposed
Oh,
to
this
this
is
like
both your
corrupted
opinions.
version.
This is your opinions. That's the
I
problem with these
mean,
kind of conversations.
most of my true proof and evidence has come from experience. And then I went back and researched a whole bunch of things. And when you look at it, you can see how everything overlaps. And if you understand how all of history and humanity works, and how when a new system comes in, they tear down the old, and what they can't tear down, they just kind of mold it and adapt it to their own doctrines. And that's all they've done.
And this is where I think I kind of lost the discussion, and this is where I bowed out with Rant, because he was very offended that I spoke about religion as opposed to spiritual but not religious conversations. Because when you say experience, I don't understand what that means. Like, how am I supposed to
actually
learn from
understood
your
that part of it.
experience?
You can. You're going to have your own experience. And I mean, that's how a lot of things are when it comes to spirituality and God. Like, we don't fully understand what it means until you truly experience it. So there's been lots of things that I've been told and understood and knew was the truth, but until I really experienced it, I didn't really understand what the fuck it meant.
Can you give me a concrete example of something that experience updated your knowledge of Jesus about, opposed to the Bible?
Jesus?
Yeah.
Well, I used to believe Jesus, well, for a very short time.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Chris.
We can hear you now.
Thank God. Okay, sorry. I don't want to interrupt anything. I'm just like,
feel free to interrupt. Please
I had
interrupt.
to do it.
Jeff wants you to
If
interrupt.
ever there was a time to interrupt.
All these religious people talking about religion is so boring. Blah.
I have no idea because I could hear everybody for a while, but I had to research the computer 3 times.
They're like getting into angels on the head of a pin level boring.
We can continue talking about religion
Here,
on
Chris will
my
play
channel.
the two of you.
Sarah.
Some
It's
we
okay.
provide music in the background. Continue here.
There's too many heathens with coals on their heads in this room, so you can't talk about it too long before it burns.
No, it's not burning. It's
Yeah, we can see it right now. You're
point of
scratching your
emotional
head. You're like,
breakdown.
it burns. Ah.
No, it burning would at least be some form of excitement. From
Yeah, I know. Okay, so to wrap up, Sarah, I think we can go way into the weeds later on, not on Jeff's stream, because we've got to keep it shallow and fun here. So.
Well, I mean, if no one else wants to talk about anything, you can. But
yeah, if you want to talk about football or drama, we can talk about that instead, Sarah. So.
Well, we were talking about drama, and then you decided that was settled.
So, so what do you think about the Panelverse drama? Are you hip to it?
I don't fucking care about it. It's so old. It's so old.
Well, then listen to this. Like I am. Well, I mean, not just me, but we're starting a game show. Something called Panels. Right now, the title is Panel Survivor.
Yeah. My vote off the island.
It's gonna be a combination of two things. Instead of we're gonna have little mini games, and instead of earning points, you're gonna earn votes. At the end of
Yeah.
each round, you'll be able to use your votes as protective votes or offensive votes. You can use them to attack other players, try to vote them off, or you can use them to block other people's votes.
Yeah.
And the last person standing wins. So if you are interested in joining me for I want to get everything worked out for it. We're gonna do a few Discord like test streams like so we can kind of see how things go with it. And if you're interested, just email me at panelsurvivor@gmail. And
Will you type that?
yeah, I'll type it in the.
He'll type
Frank,
it.
who would you vote for? Who would you boot first? There's so
Obviously
many to
Sarah,
choose from.
because it's the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
No, I don't know. You're even.
That was Joshua Jones's things, and that died whenever he left. So he's no longer.
Actually, it died before that when his
died,
misogyny
yeah.
got so intense that I couldn't even stand to be around.
Well, I'm an agent of chaos, so I'm automatically the first person getting voted off. So duh.
Well, but it's
Yeah,
not.
Frank
That's the thing,
is
though. If you get
nominating
the
you.
question, I don't know exactly what all the games are going to be yet. Some are going to be trivia, some are going to be this or that. Maybe we might do like a Pictionary type thing or something like that. Like see who can draw the best. I don't know. We'll be done different things. Okay, I'm coming up. I've been trying, and anybody has ideas for games we can do, please submit them. I'm open to all ideas. I'm trying to pull things from all different shows. But if you get enough votes, you can put those votes up as a defensive block, and you can keep yourself on the panel as long as you
just
keep
Frank.
So wait, how do you get a vote? What are we doing to get a vote?
by getting either by winning mini competitions or getting a question right. Like we're doing like we do a trivia.
We're gonna have little games, little challenges.
Okay. I thought the game was just the votes, but it's gonna be like
no. Instead of
trivia?
getting points,
There's many games.
Many different kind of games, but I'm just saying trivia is just an example. So if you get a question right, you get a vote. And if you get a question wrong, however, this is something I'm considering because some people might really hate this. My what I want to do is that if you answer a question wrong, but you're really, really funny though, I'll give you like half a point.
Okay.
That's so subjective though.
It is, but it's ultimately it's down to the host.
That's the best form of democracy, Jeff.
This is not going to be a democracy. This is going to be an authoritarian dictatorship, and me and Jeff are going to be the authoritarian.
What do you think votes are, you idiot? That's what democracy is. It's voting.
Yeah,
I don't know if Chris and I are on the same page about this yet. So
I don't know.
Don't take any of this.
I want to try out the comedy side because I love panel shows. I don't know if you like panel shows like they use in Britain a lot of times, where it's just like the shows really aren't about winning anything. Like kind of like it's Whose Line Is It Anyway? How is it like the show where the points don't count, and it's just the points don't really count. It doesn't really matter. It's just a fun combination of doing a comedy panel type thing where people can try to be as funny as they want, but I don't want it to be blood sports. I'm trying to make it more positive. And the being able to build up your little like cache of points and be able to use that to try to take somebody down or something. I think it'll be fun. It's gonna be in the spirit of fun. It's not gonna, and we're gonna have some audience participation. I think I'm gonna have we'll have like little things where audiences can vote to kind of give somebody an extra vote here and there or something like to try to save somebody. But it's not. I don't want to turn into a popularity contest. So it's ultimately gonna be between the contestants and who wins. And people will be able to form alliances. You'll be able to cast your votes for defense for other people. If you want to keep somebody on the panel, you'll be able to use your votes and cast them in defense for somebody else if you think they're going to get voted off. But we're going to try to. I want to try to keep it. My plan right now is to keep it to be a 3-hour show. It'll be a 3-hour show, and that way it'll be a little more because I feel like anything more than 3 hours is not digestible for the regular person. But I feel like people that watch panel stuff.
A lot of these streams go for.
Yeah,
and be sure to do it.
Who is Frank?
And be sure to do it at 3 a.m. in the morning. That's when you start, and then you.
That's going to be the endurance
the next
part
day.
of the competition where they have to stay on.
We're going to try. I want to try a lot of different
do
stuff.
An entire Machine Lies episode.
We're going to try.
I have an advantage there.
We're going to try a lot of different things in the Discord version of it. The Discord's going to be a place where we're going to kind of do some play testing with it and see what works and what doesn't. And then once we get it all down, we're going to start doing it live on the stream. So just if you're interested in being a contestant or interested in being a writer / someone who's going to help come up with the questions, something like that. I am, however, despite my authoritarian dictatorship ways, I am not doing this strictly to try to make money or anything like that. Anyone who contributes contributes in a a creative way to it, they will get an equal cut of like whatever if we ever make any money from it, which is doubtful. But if we make any money from it, I'm not interested in trying to profit off other people's free labor or anything like that. So if you want to be a part of it, then please let me know, and because I want to try to start doing the first test show probably next week on Discord. So let me know what your times you're available and when you could come on and try to and try to see if we can work it out. So that's
Jeff,
my big announcement.
Who are the Carls? I keep hearing about
The Carls.
I don't know. Is it some latest little troll group? Is this the latest troll encounter?
So on the flip side of that coin, I'm a capitalist, so everything I do on iFi's YouTube.
Yeah, he doesn't speak to we're definitely not of the same mind.
So I'm only doing it for the money. So like I don't care about your feelings or anything, and so you can keep that on your channel. But on my channel, Sarah, we could talk about this for like 4 hours straight.
I think he could talk to you about anything for 4 hours. Sarah.
So just
at least 4.
Yeah. So that it's gonna be a slightly different, vibe there. So, but yeah, we can do the Agents of Chaos and all that stuff like that. But I'm not really interested in like
Agents of Chaos, the musical,
the personal dramas, like if your grandmother, her cat got ran over by your neighbor, and then like your neighbor shows up on panel and they want to argue about it or whatever.
I'm waiting for the day.
I'm not interested in that stuff.
It's counting the days.
But
I don't
hey,
need that from kid.
It gets clicks, so and again, I'm all about the money. So like, if it gets more clicks, then maybe we'll just start screaming at each other at some point. That might help. I don't know.
Yes, Chuck, we are gonna. We're working on a volcano feature.
So just FYI, Sarah, I'm not a big fan of Jack Talcott, and I'll go ahead and tell you why.
Do you all think that I am a fan of Jack Talcott?
That's the only place I've seen you, so I didn't know where you were.
This is our
daily on everything he says.
I thought you were on Team Talcott, so that's why I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
That would be me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Someone else. So anyways, that's why I started this about spiritual but not religious, because that's definitely Talcott's alley. He's like, he doesn't like talking about religion and stuff, and so that's why I know we're not going to get along at all ever. So that's why I was like,
I don't want to bash on him. Like, I don't think he's a bad human being.
Oh, he's a nice guy. I'm just saying, like, we can't talk shop. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely a nice guy, but like Jeff's a nice guy, but I wouldn't talk to him about
people
religion.
Keep saying that, but I don't know where they get that from. I said I scored a 12 on politeness the other day. I start out nice. And I normally don't stay there. Where it goes from there is up to them.
And Machine Lies is a nice guy, but I don't get into him about religion because we can't even talk about politics. So that's probably not a topic we want to bring up. So
you and everybody else and their mama. I mean,
I know, man.
People get caught up. People get caught up.
It's those biased sources.
People get angry. People get angry when talking to me about ideas.
Yeah, I know. I got angry when you were taking Lib's side. I was like, Machine Lies, are you retarded or something? Like, do you know who you're talking to?
No, I was just trying to fuck with you. But
I know it worked. It worked. I was foaming at the mouth at you, Machine. I was like, you fucking idiot. You know this is a. But anyways, yeah.
No, it's mostly because you're old and the kid is young, and I don't really believe. I don't believe half the shit he says, anyways. But it is just what it is,
But anyways, I just hate when he derails Jeff's streams and then it turns into a shit fest. So that's why I was
it's not derailing. He's just it's just like when you come across like 16 to 25-year-olds.
Who derails the stream?
They never
drama. Lib.
I think no, he does. Lib is a valuable contributor. I have to give him his props. I will say, I think like our goal is to keep the drama more managed on this stream and to a minimum, and I think we do a pretty good job of that.
I'll take Joe Cool's drama. I'll handle Joe Cool's drama, but Lib is unrepairable. It's just there's nothing to salvage there.
I don't think if you've ever talked to Lib, like
for a trans person, he's very low on drama, and he contributes very intelligently.
I don't care about his trans bullshit. It's commie bullshit that I can't.
Yeah, I find him. I find him to be.
He's not trying to push it on society right now, though. Either he just lists it as his ideal. That's what he would like to see the world turn into.
He even says, and we get into this all the time, like he knows it can't happen in reality. And then my challenge is, why do you waste so much time on something that you know?
Why do you waste Jeff's strings on that
young
topic?
And he's an idealist. And like when I was young, I was more of an idealist too. Like,
you just geek out on the fantasy.
See, Jeff,
it's not like geeking out in the fantasy. It's about he just believes. Okay, there's like this mentality that
why, like Talcott, like with Talcott, why would you pour all your passion, like your core self and inner being, into this vision that you know is not even going to happen in your lifetime? Like in Talcott's defense, I think he believes it will happen, but Lib flat out admits.
But that's the Lib thing. It's like Lib joins. He supports a political party that he knows is not going to win.
Right. It's like I'm all into.
Why do y'all keep arguing with him?
And it just doesn't seem like a.
Why do y'all keep arguing with him?
I happen to respect him intellectually, but
I like Lib.
But
intellectually. I wonder what that is. I think politics is too important to engage in it like recreationally. You know what
Chris, we already agreed there are nice people on Earth. I'm not saying Lib is not a nice person. I'm saying his ideas are complete bullshit.
But I think your ideas are complete bullshit. Everybody on these panels thinks each other's ideas are.
I think my own ideas are complete bullshit. I think my own ideas are. Look at me. I'm trying to make a game show. That's my thing. And you know the funny thing is, whenever I was 3 and 4, you know who my hero was according to my parents. I don't remember this. Who I wanted to be more than anybody else in the world when I was 4? Guy Smiley from Sesame Street.
Word.
And now I'm gonna fulfill that goal. I'm gonna fulfill that 4-year-old Chris's goal, and I'm gonna be a game show.
I like Grover. Anyways, so Jeff, you know how you're always saying like I'm comparable to Lib because no one buys anything that I'm selling, and no one.
No, I didn't say that because Lib sells way better than you. I end up buying.
So in this very stream, I already found a follower. Sarah is going to join my conservatarian movement, and we're going to rebuild this country. So fuck you.
Watch out, Sarah. He's got a bunker.
Even I can see this one coming.
What else he's got down there? You might end up changing the radiator. You gotta be careful.
Where this one's going.
See, Sarah, they always get mad when you prove them wrong. They're like, rah, 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 it doesn't count. You're not a real person, Sarah. Your feelings don't matter.
What did I say? I said was warned her about getting changed to a radiator. I didn't say that her feelings didn't count. Her feelings are perfectly valid. If she believes in your dream, then good for her. I think everyone's.
I'm sure she can speak for herself too.
Yeah.
Okay. Since you guys love drama so much, Sarah, do you know who Neurotic Jack is?
Neurojack. Neurojack, right?
Yes, Neurotic Jack. Go ahead.
Anyways,
What's your thoughts on this individual? Can you share with the class?
I don't. I would need to be on panels with him more.
Oh, you haven't met him and talked to him yet?
No, I've watched him a few times, but he hasn't been my focus.
I doubt we're gonna get a crack at the wife.
Well, he's another example of what the fuck?
I know that's a weird question.
Is that Moose? Is that Moose posting under his alt account?
No.
Anyways,
he
Sarah,
he's implying that she doesn't exist.
The reason why I brought Jack up is because he was one of the few people that I feel like we could actually have an intelligent, productive conversation with, but then he couldn't sit still long enough to have coherent thoughts, so we diverged.
Neurojack, he was the one last night who was in opposition about not going into the mountains.
Yep.
That was Neurojack, right?
That's right.
Okay.
See, that he's already wrong. We got to start in the forest and work our way out.
I think Sarah might agree with that a little bit, right? Or what do you think of that?
I think everyone has a purpose and a goal, and they're going to be different. Now, if your goal is to survive, and it's all about your life, then yeah, you should get the fuck out of the cities.
And Sarah,
I've been burning to the ground.
And Sarah, where's all the arable land and clean drinking water, by the way? Is it in the cities?
And I mean, you can make it.
Really? You can grow vegetables in the city?
Yeah, you just got to get creative. There's containers. Haven't you ever done a container garden?
Yeah, and then the hoodlums down the street steal all your shit.
Well, you need to get better neighbors. Move.
Exactly. That's why you start out in the forest and you work your way back, and then when you achieve civilization, and then you challenge the status quo.
No, see, what you do is you stock the warehouse where they're storing the water for like 3 days, and then when you see the guards, when you see them go to their car, you put a bomb in their car so it blows up, and then you go raid the warehouse.
I'll tell you what, Machine. You start with the city. I'll start with the forest, and then we'll meet in the middle.
I'm just kidding, though. But yeah.
Does that sound like a plan? But anyways, I'm not quite doom prepper yet, Sarah, but I joke about it from time to time. So if you hear talking about my bunker in the woods, it's because spiritually and mentally, I've already checked out of pretty much all humanity because I tried for decades and decades of my life to like appeal to good and intelligent people, and I couldn't find any, so I tried to convert some of the evil retards into good and intelligent people, and I failed that. So I was like, "Pick it up. I'm going to the woods. I'm going to talk to the squirrels for a while. Good luck, humanity." And so mentally I'm checked out, but physically I'm still in like suburbia hell. I'm like in one of these cookie cutter neighborhoods.
You're like Tesla, like in love with the pigeons, you mean? Or he's just like eating the pigeons?
Tesla's overrated.
All I know is that Walden is one of the most boring books I've ever read in my life. So,
but anyways, we can talk about.
It's gonna start in April. I think it's gonna be more like July, but we'll find out. It's definitely gonna start this year.
I know, Chopper Jeff. That's why I just explained to Sarah. Just like the rest of us. I just explained it to Sarah, Chopper Jeff. Keep up, lad. But anyways, so we can talk about politics, religion, philosophy, whatever's on your mind. So I'm open game.
Does anyone have anything else they would like to talk about besides I-Fi?
There's nothing that's off topic with me, so it's just for all future conversations. Yeah, Jeff, what do you want to talk about since I'm hogging up all your airtime, Jeff?
I want to get in a good debate. What's the thing that we were disagreeing on yesterday? I don't even fucking remember.
Machine Lies. We were disagreeing about capitalism and socialism. Do you want to debate that right now?
Nah, actually, I'll pass. Yeah, let's fuck that shit. Yeah.
Do you want to debate libertarians versus authoritarians, Machine Lies?
No, I got to give a presentation on that shit.
All right.
Bored of that shit, yeah. Because I got to give a presentation on like Hoppe and Mises Institute. You know about the Mises Institute?
Yeah. I'm kind of warm to them, but they're not quite I-Fi ready yet. So they got to keep trying.
Yeah, I was talking a lot about Chicago School of economics and all of their influence, Milton Friedman and all those guys.
So there's a perfect question. Are there any libertarians in the room other than me?
Well, it depends on your version of a libertarian, but I usually classify mine.
Okay, Sarah, did you vote for Joe Jorgensen?
Who is
that? No.
Or Gary
Joe Jorgensen?
That was the last libertarian candidate.
I couldn't hear you.
Did you vote for Gary Johnson?
If I actually thought he would win, I would have. But no.
Would you vote for Ron Paul?
Yes.
Now, see, that's why Sarah's already a member of Conservataria. I don't even have to ask her any more questions. I already know she qualifies for all of the important.
I also said I would vote for Ron Paul, but
No, Chris, you tried to sneak in the back door, but we already talked about he's
the last politician I actually did vote for. So
Also, you LARP as a capitalist, but I always catch you defending socialist every time the debate comes up. Every single time, you always defend them.
I'm definitely a capitalist.
No,
Chris, you have a little like bleeding heart side to you.
No, Chris, you're kind of like
I have sympathy. I have sympathy for the ideals of socialism and communism. Even
yeah, exactly.
They're completely stupid and they'll never work. I still have sympathy for those ideals because I think that it would be nice if they would work, but they won't. They never will. So it doesn't matter.
Chris, do you remember yesterday's stream with Tim?
Yeah, sort of. I don't know.
Okay, so you're a Tim capitalist in that you're like, oh yeah, I'm kind of open to the idea. It sounds like it might work in theory. Whenever people talk like that, they're not capitalists because they're basically socialists that think that maybe we can have a little more freedom. That might help out the economy. I don't know, but let's just stick with the government controlling everything because it's working out so well already. Let's not rock the boat.
That's not me at all. You have me completely wrong.
You've got me convinced, so I guess you have to unconvince me now that you are a real capitalist and you were just LARPing as a socialist shill. So I'm sorry.
I mean, I didn't. I'm
My
not
bad.
LARPing as a socialist shill. Like I said, I just said socialism and communism are really nice ideas that are unfortunately stupid and they will never work.
Neither one
I mean,
of them are
how
not.
can I be any more clear than that? I think that it's a nice ideal. It's nice to think that everyone could work together and all work for the common good and everything. It'll never happen though. Therefore,
There's nothing nice about a government with the monopoly of violence taking your profit.
No,
there's
there
nothing
isn't.
nice about that.
But that's not the communist ideal either. The communist ideal would be that everyone would voluntarily work together for the common good. It's something that will never happen. It's stupid. It requires fascism or some sort of authoritarianism for it to work, and that's the reason why I think that it's. But
Okay, Chris, I understand you were just trying to be fair and balanced. You didn't want to like dogpile on anyone, and you were trying to appear to be balanced in these debates. So I understand.
Well, since you're proceeding recklessly into an argument about capitalism or communism,
there is no debate, Machine. There is no debate.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. The debate was solved yesterday when, in the very first few seconds, I proved that there's no such thing as capitalism.
No, Machine, dude. You need to like read a book or something. Go read.
I wrote a book. I not only read books, but I've written a book.
Who's our favorite capitalist? What's his name? What's his name? Fuck, I'm blanking
Locke,
already.
Man. Locke. Let's go with Locke.
Is it Friedman?
Do you agree with John Locke? Do you agree with
John?
John Locke? Let's just take it there. Do you agree with John Locke?
Milton Friedman. Just go read Milton Friedman
Fuck
about
Milton Friedman. Do you agree with John Locke?
Debate.
Do you agree with John Locke?
I agree that capitalism is real. It's not a theory. It's currently a economic system we can subscribe to.
Have you read John Locke?
No, I have not.
So you're gonna tell me about fucking capitalism and ask me if I've read books, but you haven't read John Locke, the theory that founded capitalism.
If John Locke's definition is the private ownership
John Locke
of land and goods
invents capitalism
and the voluntary exchange of goods and services, if that's his definition, then
that's
I
not
agree
his
with John
fucking
Locke.
definition. So you don't know what capitalism even is.
Okay, what's John Locke's definition then? Let's see what his definition is.
Well, you need key elements. You need money. You need labor. You need property. These types of things.
All you need is the private ownership of land.
Yeah. And who invented the notion of private ownership?
Anyone who formed a country or government.
No, that would be John Locke. Before that, your property belonged to the king, my friend.
Right. The king owns the property.
Right, because he owns the land.
He's the government, by the way.
Yeah, but John Locke came up with private land, private property, right?
Government doesn't mean elected officials. It means anyone who rules over you. It can be the tribe leader, the king, the emperor. Doesn't matter.
Who defined government as that way? That would also be John Locke.
Anyone who governs over you is the government.
Yeah. That's called the two treatises of government. That's where that comes from. The idea.
So the debate is between the individuals owning their land
and do you know how he
government.
No, but do you know how he
versus capitalism.
Hold on. Let me introduce the argument to you, okay? Because you've never heard of it. Okay, you don't even understand what proto-capitalism looks like. So let me introduce capitalism to you for the first time, as if you're a baby with a bib on, okay? Because this is what I'm gonna have to do, all right? Unfortunately. So the thing is that in the two treatises of government, John Locke invents the notion of property. In the second treatise of government, and the whole first treatise of government is about him arguing against the notion of private dominion that God gave to Adam. So he has to argue against the Bible, and he also has to argue against the notion of patriarchy, that your father rules over you, okay, until you get married. He says that that's false. Why? Because the father is no longer under the the son is no longer under the tutelage of his father when he obtains his own property. This was John Locke's argument. Before that, society was run by patriarchal formulation. No, I don't accept your Google definition. I just defined it for you very concisely.
Okay, well, I don't accept your Locke definition. So
well, you don't accept the origins of capitalism because you're a retard.
He doesn't own a patent on the word capitalism, so he doesn't get to decide what that word means.
You don't understand how the idea originated, but you're going to talk about it. That's the problem.
Okay, well, when I talk to people in 2024, mostly English-speaking audiences, I'm talking about the private ownership of land.
And where did they get that idea from?
And the voluntary exchange.
And where did they get that idea from? Most of the educated ones are aware
I
they got it
don't
from John Locke.
care where they got it from. That's my answer. I don't care where they got it from.
Then you're not educated on the issue.
I
You don't
give a
understand
shit,
the origins
Machine.
of the issue.
I don't
give a
care
fuck
who
about
invented
the
the
political.
cotton gin either. All I know
Yeah,
is
you don't
that
care.
I
Yeah,
support
here's
capitalism.
what you're doing. Here's what you're doing. You're defending a political ideology that you don't understand the
Okay.
origins of.
Okay. So once again, I can define terms and then debate
Anybody
And
can
we have
define any
Beck
term,
that
and
has
we're
just
willing to
joined us.
accept and
Feel free to
reject
jump in. You might have
whatever
to grab the
definition.
microphone.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry, Bex. Yeah.
That's okay.
Well-
I know you're not here for much longer too. It's really nice to meet you, Sarah and Chris and iFi, and nice to see you, Machine Lies, and nice to sort of formally meet you too, Jeff. I know we chatted a bit the other day, or we're in a
Hi,
conversation
Max.
together. I wanted to say about this capitalism and communism thing. I'm pretty bright, but I almost failed sociology because of this back in the day. Perfect. You have to look into perfectly pure or perfect capitalism versus perfect communism, and you'll find that the two models actually end up with identical results. Only in one, the government owns everything, and in the other, the rich evolve to own everything. So to the layman, to the 99%, communism and capitalism look identical. And since we know that these big that there's some what am I trying to say? Businesses, I can't think of the word right now, but corporations, huge corporations that are actually bigger than nation states, like Walmart. You know, it's you start to understand that these two things are not different. They're really not. So it really is being taught, and we've been taught to juxtapose these things as binary, just like so many other things in this dualistic world. But when it comes to those models, a lot of that has to do with just the programming we've taken on, that one is better than another. They're the same.
I agree. We should define our terms before we debate them.
I think capitalism is better. Well, I mean, it depends on your goal. For my goal,
absolutely better. Capitalism is the best system we have right now, and I don't see anyone coming up with something much better anytime soon.
The best thing is the village. You know.
Yeah, I read this tweet yesterday. I want to read this tweet again. It's from Noah Smith. The United States respects, empowers, and enriches working people more than any communist country that has ever existed.
Does the village own your land, or do you own the land, Machine? Does the tribe chief own your land?
I don't own any land.
I already answered the question. You know, that was way before they devised the notion of private property. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I gotta go, guys. But
right.
I sent you a message. We should definitely study 2 treatises of government, man. I love you,
All
brother.
right. Eventually, I'll get a channel up and running, but I'm still hoarse.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no worries. I got your back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Bex. Thank you to Chris, as always. Thank you to Jeff.
Yeah, no problem.
Bless you guys, Chopper Jeff, Auntie Dearest, Chuck in Tennessee, Just Frank, all the guys in the chat. Bless you guys. Peace.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure. I got your back, dude. Anytime, you know. Yeah, man. Just so you guys know, you guys never had a friend like me, man. I'm there for you guys. All right. Bless you guys. Man.
Man, I know it's true, TML. You're a real one. All right, man. I guess that kind of seems like. So is it? So we want to go by the go one by one. What are your last words?
Let me figure out how to do
it's a show over already. We were just having fun. Oh well.
Everybody's gonna walk off the plank now. So
Sarah, if there's anything you want to promote or announce or tell us about.
I don't really do that shit. You can check out my stuff, my Quaternity Yoga, if you want some free yoga. Go for it.
You have a channel? Do you have a YouTube channel?
I have 3 YouTube channels.
Oh, 3 YouTube channels.
Yeah, Mindfucked is on depth psychology and spirituality and all this stuff, and Quaternity Yoga is like more of a professional version.
Put them all in the back chat. Link all 3 of them in the back chat, and I'll move it to the front chat. So
okay.
Everyone can join them.
Okay.
Well, good seeing you today. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's very nice having you.
And let's see. Okay, now we will let Bex go ahead. Who didn't get all the time today? Go ahead. If there's anything you want to wrap up with.
I know someone was saying,
is that an AI avatar, or is that something you created? Because that's really cool.
I made it with AI though. I made it with an abstract filter, just asking it. I think I just put in the word oh, this is punk rock beaker chick in in abstract art filter. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I like it.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to say that someone was saying who owns the land in those models. And I know another thing that confused me in university was this idea of tragedy of the commons. You know, they said that people couldn't have common land because, you know, people would take their cattle out to feed at a different rate. Like, you know, and someone would get their cattle fatter and earn more money at the market, you know, but that we're getting back into that idea that if you have common land, then you'd likely have common cattle. And then I know that's looks like communism, but I'm just saying that it's, you know, it's that village thing. It's a village thing. So anyways, I'm not pro capitalism or pro communism. I'm just philosophizing here. Anyways, thank you so much, Jeff, for having me. And I look forward. Thanks for letting me, you know, I kind of took over the chat there for a bit.
Oh, yeah, I
And,
hardly noticed. It's
good.
People
I
talk
appreciate,
about
I really look forward to further discussions with all of you and the people that you attract here. So
Lord.
thanks for having me.
That's good or bad. Yeah, thank you for coming. Anytime.
Thanks. Bye for now.
Take care. Ooh, how am I solo? Hang on. Get some more. Fuck. Sorry. Hang on. All right, there we are. Hey, Sarah, welcome back.
Yeah, Sarah, do you have the link? Do you have your YouTube links?
I was just coming back to put the links on.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure. Yeah,
okay.
as soon as you get them drop,
All
I'll
right.
move them to the front.
I you got like 30 seconds. I got it because I gotta go.
Okay. At ifi-yt is my YouTube channel. I don't know how this stuff works. Click on it.
I just dropped it in the main comments. So
okay. Just a little quick, you know, heads up. I'm battling laryngitis, so I haven't even started my channel yet. It doesn't exist yet, so you're only gonna find like one video and 2 or 3, you know, live restreams. So eventually I'll get to it, but you can check back and see if I'm up and running. So we'll see. In the meantime, I'll be here with Jeff having tea. So
yeah, if you're curious in the meantime, just go back and watch the old streams he's on because it's the same.
Yeah, I've been on Machine Lies. I've been on Flow State. I've been on Jack Talcott a couple times, but it's mainly just Hank I've talked to and stuff like that. So you can find me. I'll be around.
Okay,
Later, guys.
Well,
bye.
Appreciate it as always.
All right.
Wait.
Let me remove link so it stops.
I can remove you.
Okay, remove me.
All right, there. Bye. Okay, Chris, I'll I have a meeting to go to, but I will contact you when that's over, and we can get some of those other shows out of the way.
Sure thing.
And,
yeah.
Okay, take care, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow.
My final message for everyone is, like I said, if you're interested in participating in the pre-stream Panel Survivor Discord thing, you just email me at thepanelsurvivor@gmail.com, and I'll give you a link to the Discord, and you can come on, and like we're gonna start trying just testing it out and seeing what works and what doesn't. And you know, it's just for fun. It's not supposed to be, you know, it's not supposed to be anything that's supposed to take it super seriously, but we want to try to like refine it into a really good game. So if you're interested, please come on and let's play it. Let's try to create a game together and have a good time, everybody. Good night.
Good night.